You're done. Right now. Leave." The words cut through the dining room at 8:42 p.m., just as glasses clink and conversations pause mid-sentence. Jennifer freezes, tray still in her hands, a half-served table staring between her and the tall man in a dark suit. I just need to clear this." "I said, leave," the CEO snaps, louder this time, eyes cold, finger pointing toward the exit. Every guest turns. Phones shift. A quiet ripple spreads. A child at table 7 stops eating. His mother pulls him closer. Jennifer sets the tray down slowly. No shaking. No rush. "You're firing me. Over this?" she asks, voice steady. "You embarrassed my guests," he says. "You're finished." Jennifer looks at him once more, then reaches for her apron. But the way she unties it feels wrong. Why does she look so calm? Before the story continues, let me greet you. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. Stories like this travel across many cities and many lives. So before we begin, take a second and tell me where you are watching from. I enjoy seeing how far our community reaches. If you enjoy powerful stories about choices, relationships, and life lessons, please subscribe to the channel so you do not miss the next one. "You heard him," the manager whispers, stepping closer. "Go before you make this worse." Jennifer slides the apron off and folds it neatly on the table, right beside the untouched wine glass worth more than her weekly pay. The CEO watches her, impatient. "Security," he says, not taking his eyes off her. A guard starts moving from the entrance. Jennifer doesn't look at him. She doesn't look at the guests either. Instead, she adjusts her sleeve, smooth and precise, like she still belongs there. "Name," the CEO says suddenly. "What was it again?" "Jennifer," she answers. He nods once. "You won't work in this city again." A soft murmur spreads across the room. Jennifer lifts her chin slightly. "Are you sure about that?" The CEO smirks. "I don't repeat myself." The guard reaches her side. Jennifer steps away on her own. No protest, no argument, just a quiet turn toward the hallway. But she doesn't head for the exit. So, where is she going? "Exits that way," the guard says, pointing left toward the glass doors. Jennifer keeps walking straight. The hallway narrows. Staff doors line the walls. The noise of the dining room fades behind her. "Hey!" The guard steps in front of her. "You didn't hear me?" "I did," she says, calm. "I'm not going there." He frowns. Then, "Where are you going?" Jennifer glances past him, toward a polished steel door at the end of the corridor. A small panel beside it glows blue. "Up," she says. The guard lets out a short laugh. "That elevator is restricted." Jennifer reaches into her pocket and pulls out a slim black card. The guard's smile fades. "Where did you get that?" She doesn't answer. Instead, she steps forward and taps the panel. A soft beep cuts through the silence. The doors slide open instantly. The guard stiffens. Jennifer steps inside without looking back. The doors begin to close. What just opened for her? "Stop that elevator." The CEO's voice echoes down the hallway as he strides in, shoes striking the floor hard. The guard turns quickly. "Sir." "She had access." "What do you mean she had access?" His tone sharpens, eyes locked on the closing doors. Inside, Jennifer stands still, hand resting by her side, gaze forward. The doors slide shut. The elevator moves. Up. The CEO reaches the panel and presses the call button repeatedly. Nothing happens. "Override it," he snaps. "It's already engaged," the guard says. Uneasy. "Top floor authorization." The CEO's jaw tightens. "That floor is private." Silence hangs between them. In the elevator, the numbers climb fast. Divinatsat. 18. 23. Jennifer exhales slowly, then checks her wristwatch. 8:40. 4 p.m. Right on time. The elevator slows. A soft chime. The doors begin to open. But what is waiting for her at the top? The doors open to silence. No staff. No noise. Just a wide marble hallway and glass walls overlooking the city lights below. Jennifer steps out, heels steady against the polished floor. Behind her, the elevator doors close without a sound. A single assistant looks up from a desk, startled. "Excuse me, this floor is restricted." Jennifer keeps walking. I said you can't be here, the assistant adds, rising quickly. Jennifer stops in front of a large glass door at the end of the hall. The name etched in silver catches the light. The CEO's office. You need authorization, the assistant insists, reaching for the phone. Jennifer turns slightly. I already have it. Before the assistant can react, Jennifer pushes the door open and walks inside. Leather chairs, city view, a desk filled with confidential files. She moves behind it and sits, calm, certain. Downstairs, he fired her like she was nothing. Up here, she looks like she owns everything. So who is Jennifer, really? Watch her, the manager mutters under his breath, eyes fixed across the dining floor. Jennifer stands near table 4, not moving, not rushing like the others. Her gaze tracks everything. Orders, timing, people. The new girl thinks she's different, another waiter whispers. She is, the manager replies, and I don't like it. Jennifer steps forward just as a glass slips from a guest's hand. Before it hits the floor, she catches it. Smooth, exact. The guest blinks. How did you? Reflex, she says, already placing it back. No smile, no pause. Across the room, inside a glass office above the restaurant, the CEO watches through tinted panels. Phone pressed to his ear. No delays, he says sharply. Transfer the full amount tonight. His eyes shift briefly. He notices her, just for a second, then looks away. Below, Jennifer adjusts a table setting no one else noticed was wrong. The manager frowns. Why does she act like she already knows everything? Jennifer, slow down, the manager says, stepping beside her. You're not running this place. I'm not trying to, she replies, adjusting a misplaced fork without looking at him. You corrected 3 tables that weren't yours. They needed fixing. That's not your call. Jennifer finally looks at him. Then whose is it when guests notice before staff? He hesitates for a second. Just one. Stick to your section, he snaps. Across the room, a VIP guest raises his hand. Irritated. Where's my order? It's been 20 minutes. Before anyone else moves, Jennifer walks over. It's coming now, she says. Calm. Kitchen delay on the main course. That's not what I asked, the guest replies, voice rising. Jennifer leans slightly closer. You'll have it in 2 minutes. The guest pauses. Something in her tone lands. Upstairs, the CEO glances down again. This time, he watches longer. Why does she sound like she's in charge here? Who told you to handle that table? The manager asks, stepping in front of her again. No one, Jennifer replies. They needed an answer. They're not your responsibility. They are when they're about to walk out. The manager exhales sharply. You're new. Act like it. Jennifer says nothing. From the kitchen, a chef rushes out. Table 9 is wrong. Order got mixed. The manager groans. Not tonight. Jennifer turns. What's the issue? Steak instead of salmon, the chef says. VIP table. Jennifer moves immediately. Don't. The manager starts. Too late. She reaches the table just as the guest pushes the plate away. This is not what I ordered. You're right, Jennifer says. Give me 90 seconds. 90? The guest scoffs. Watch the clock, she replies. She lifts the plate and heads straight into the kitchen. The manager watches, tense. Upstairs, the CEO steps closer to the glass. Why does she keep taking control like she owns the place? Who let her into the kitchen? The manager snaps, rushing after her. Inside, heat rises fast. Chefs move under pressure. Orders stack. Jennifer steps straight to the grill. I need 1 salmon. Priority. Table 9. That's not your call, the head chef says without turning. It is. If that table walks out, she replies. The chef pauses, then looks at her. You're not management. No, Jennifer says, but you're about to lose a client worth 6 figures. Silence hits for a second. The chef turns fully now. How do you know that? Jennifer checks the ticket. Because his account is flagged. Top tier. The manager enters, breath tight. Jennifer, step away. Now, she doesn't move. 2 minutes, she says to the chef. The grill fires up again. The manager stares at her. Upstairs, the CEO watches, phone lowered now. His deal is still on the line, but his focus shifts. Why does she know things she shouldn't? Who flagged that account? The manager asks, voice low now, careful. Jennifer steps back as the plate is finished. It was already in your system. No one on staff has access to that level. She meets his eyes. Then someone should. The chef hands her the plate. 2 minutes. You were right. Jennifer nods once and walks out of the kitchen. The manager stays behind, unsettled. Run her file, he tells a staff member. Now, back on the floor, Jennifer places the corrected dish in front of the guest. Grilled salmon. Fresh preparation. The guest cuts into it, tastes, then leans back. Better. No charge for the delay, she adds. The guest studies her. You're new? Yes. He smiles slightly. You won't stay that way. Upstairs, the CEO turns from the glass and ends his call. Get me her name, he says. Below, Jennifer adjusts the table once more. So why does everyone suddenly want to know who she is? Table 12 is double booked. A hostess whispers. Panic rising. 2 reservations, same time. That's not possible, the manager says quickly. System doesn't make that mistake. Jennifer steps closer, eyes already scanning the screen. It does when entries overlap. The hostess shakes her head. I checked twice. Jennifer taps the screen, then scrolls once. You check names, not timestamps. What? Look, Jennifer says, pointing. One was moved forward. The other wasn't updated. The manager leans in. His expression shifts. How did you see that? He asks. Jennifer doesn't answer. She's already moving. Split the table, she says. Offer complimentary drinks. Keep both. That's risky, the manager replies. So is losing both. He hesitates, then nods. Across the room, the CEO watches again, arms crossed now. Jennifer moves like she's fixing something bigger than dinner service. Why does she understand systems she was never trained on? Wait, the manager calls after her. You don't even know their preferences. Jennifer keeps walking. I do. At table 12, 2 couples arrive at the same time, tension already rising. We booked for 8, one man says. So did we, the other adds, voice tight. Jennifer steps in before voices climb. You're both right. That's not helpful, one woman replies. Jennifer gestures toward a corner table. Give me 60 seconds. She turns to the hostess. Move the partition. Extend that table. That takes time, the hostess says. Not if we skip reset, Jennifer answers. She looks back at the guests. You both requested window seating. One prefers red wine. The other asked for sparkling water on arrival. The couples pause. How do you know that? One asks. Jennifer doesn't answer. Your table will be ready now. Upstairs, the CEO narrows his eyes. She's not guessing. So how does she know their exact requests without checking anything? Did you tell her those details? The manager asks the hostess, voice tight. No, she says quickly. I didn't even see the notes. Across the floor, Jennifer moves table settings with precision. Glasses placed before requests. Napkins aligned before guests sit. A waiter leans in. She did the same thing at table 6. Knew the allergy before they said it. That's not normal, another adds. The manager watches closely now. Check the system logs, he says. See if she's accessing anything. At the bar, Jennifer stops mid-step. A bartender reaches for a bottle. That's the wrong one, she says. He pauses. It's what he ordered. No, Jennifer replies. He changed it 5 minutes ago. The bartender checks the screen. His eyes widen. How did you? Jennifer is already walking away. Upstairs, the CEO steps closer to the glass again. This isn't instinct anymore. So where is she getting information before the system even updates? Run it again, the manager says, voice low. Every access point. I already did, the IT assistant replies. Laptop open, no login from her ID, no backdoor. Nothing. That's not possible. That's what I'm telling you. Across the floor, Jennifer pauses near a table, eyes fixed on a guest's hand, hovering above his glass. Don't, she says quietly. The man stops. Don't what? She leans slightly. That drink isn't yours. He frowns. It's on my tab. No, she says. It was switched. The man looks at the glass, then at his friend. Did you? No, the friend replies, confused. The manager steps closer. Jennifer, what are you doing? Preventing a mistake, she says. The guest signals the waiter. Bring me a fresh one. Upstairs, the CEO's expression hardens. She's not reacting, she's predicting. So how is she always one step ahead of everyone else? Who are you? The manager asks, stepping into her path. Jennifer stops. For the first time, she doesn't move around him. An employee, she says. That's not what I mean. She holds his gaze. I know. His jaw tightens. You're not on any internal list I can verify. No full history, just a basic hire file. Jennifer says nothing. A phone vibrates in her pocket. She takes it out, glances at the screen, then answers. Yes. Her tone changes. Sharper, controlled. No delays, she says quietly. He already moved the timeline. The manager listens, confused. Jennifer turns slightly away. I'm inside. I see everything. A pause. Then she ends the call. Inside what? The manager asks. Jennifer looks past him, toward the glass office upstairs. Lights still on. CEO still watching. Exactly where I need to be, she says. Upstairs, the CEO's phone buzzes. Unknown number. He answers. A calm voice speaks. I'm already in your building. Who is really watching who? Don't call me again unless it's done, the CEO says, voice sharp, pacing inside the glass office. It's not that simple, a voice replies through the phone. The board wants. I don't answer to delays, he cuts in. Move the funds tonight. Silence. Then the call ends. He stands still for a second, jaw tight, eyes drifting back to the floor below. Jennifer is there again, calm, moving, watching. His assistant steps in quickly. Sir, the investors are asking for confirmation. They'll get it when I say so, he replies. They're threatening to pull out. His eyes narrow. They won't. Below, a tray slips from a waiter's hand. Glass shatters across the floor. The room reacts instantly. Jennifer steps forward before anyone else. The CEO watches closely now. Everything is under pressure. One mistake is enough tonight. But why does it feel like she's waiting for something to break? Clean it. Now, the manager orders, voice tight as staff rush toward the broken glass. Step back, Jennifer says, already moving into the space. I said I've got it, the waiter insists, reaching down. Don't touch it, she replies. You'll cut yourself. He hesitates. Jennifer grabs a cloth, clears the sharp edges first, then signals the hostess. Redirect traffic. Keep guests away. That's not your call, the manager snaps. It is, if someone gets hurt, she answers without looking at him. A guest nearby stands abruptly. What kind of service is this? Jennifer turns to him. Controlled service. Give me 10 seconds. The man pauses, thrown off. Upstairs, the CEO watches the scene unfold. His assistant speaks again. Sir, they need your signature. Not now. His focus stays on her. She doesn't panic. She takes control. His jaw tightens. Why does she keep stepping in like she runs the entire floor? Jennifer, stop overriding instructions, the manager says, stepping in front of her again. You're creating confusion. No, she replies. I'm fixing it. You're not in charge. Then act like you are, she says, already moving past him. A server rushes over. Order delay at table 5. They're getting loud. Of course they are, the manager mutters. Jennifer steps in. What's the delay? Kitchen backed up. 10 minutes behind. Jennifer looks toward the kitchen, then back at the table. Send bread. Offer a drink, she says. That's not approved, the manager snaps. It will cost less than losing them. The guests at table 5 raise their voices. This is unacceptable. Jennifer walks over. Your order is delayed. You won't pay for the wait. The table quiets slightly. Upstairs, the CEO grips the railing. She keeps making decisions without permission. So why does every decision she makes work? Stop covering for them, the CEO says, voice cold as he steps out of the office and heads toward the floor. His assistant follows. Sir, The investors are still waiting. They can wait. Below, Jennifer finishes at table 5 and turns. The room shifts as he enters. Staff straighten. Voices drop. The manager steps forward quickly. "Sir, everything is under control." "Is it?" the CEO asks, eyes locked on Jennifer. Silence spreads. He walks closer, slow, deliberate. "You," he says, pointing at her. "Why are you making decisions you weren't hired to make?" Jennifer meets his gaze. "Because they needed to be made. That's not your role. It became my role when no one else stepped in." A few guests glance over, sensing tension. The CEO's expression hardens. Public attention builds. He steps closer. "Then let me remind you what your role is. But why does it feel like this moment is about to go too far?" "Say it again," the CEO says, voice lower now. "Dangerous. What did you just say to me?" Jennifer doesn't step back. "I said the decisions needed to be made." A glass clinks somewhere behind them. Every eye turns. "You're a waitress," he says. "You don't decide anything here." Jennifer holds his gaze. Someone has to when leadership is distracted. A sharp inhale moves through the room. The manager freezes. "Jennifer, stop." The CEO's jaw tightens. "Distracted?" Jennifer nods once. "You're handling something bigger. It's affecting this floor." Silence. The assistant steps closer. "Sir, we should take this upstairs." "No," he says, eyes still locked on her. "We'll finish this here." Guests lean in. Phones lift slightly. Public tension locks in place. Jennifer stands still. No apology, no fear. The CEO takes one step closer. "This ends now." But who is about to lose control first? "This ends now," the CEO repeats, voice cutting through the room. He turns slightly, making sure everyone can see him. "Take off the uniform," he says. "You're done here." A wave of silence hits the dining floor. The manager steps in quickly. "Sir, maybe we can—" "No," the CEO cuts him off. She crossed the line. Jennifer doesn't move. "You question my authority." In front of guests, he adds, "That's not a mistake. That's disrespect." Guests lean closer. Phones lift higher. Jennifer studies him for a second. "So that's your decision?" "Yes." No warning. "You don't deserve one." A pause. Jennifer nods once. "All right." The manager looks confused. "Jennifer, just apologize." She ignores him. Instead, she reaches for the knot behind her apron. No rush, no hesitation, just calm hands. Around her, whispers spread. Why isn't she fighting this at all? "Stop," the manager says under his breath. "Just say something." Jennifer doesn't look at him. She loosens the apron strings and pulls it free in one smooth motion. The CEO watches, arms folded. "Good. At least you understand." A guest at the nearest table leans forward. "This feels unnecessary." The CEO doesn't respond. Jennifer folds the apron carefully and places it on the edge of the table. Neat. Exact. "You're making a mistake," the manager whispers. Jennifer glances at him. "Am the first?" He hesitates. The CEO steps closer. "Security will escort you out." "That won't be necessary," Jennifer says. Her tone shifts again. Calm, controlled, almost final. She looks back at him. "Are you sure?" she asks. The room goes still. The CEO doesn't blink. "I'm certain." Jennifer nods once. "Good," she says quietly. Then she turns and walks away. Why does it feel like she just made a decision he doesn't understand? "Escort her," the CEO says, not taking his eyes off her. The guard steps forward again. "Ma'am, this way." Jennifer keeps walking, not toward the exit. The guard reaches for her arm. "You need to." She stops just before he touches her. "I said it won't be necessary," she repeats. Something in her voice makes him pause. Behind them, the manager speaks fast. "Jennifer, don't do this. Just leave." She glances back briefly. "I am." "That's not the exit." "I know." The CEO steps forward now. "Where do you think you're going?" Jennifer faces him again. "Upstairs," she says. A few guests exchange looks. "That area is restricted," the CEO replies. Jennifer tilts her head slightly. "Only to people without access." Silence drops again. The CEO narrows his eyes. You don't have access. Jennifer reaches into her pocket. So why does she look like she's about to prove him wrong? Jennifer pulls out a slim black card and holds it between two fingers. The guard leans closer. That's not a staff pass. The manager squints. Where did you get that? Jennifer doesn't answer. She steps toward the hallway. Stop her, the CEO says, voice sharp. The guard moves again, faster this time. Jennifer lifts the card slightly. Think carefully. He hesitates. Sir? The guard asks. Unsure now, the CEO steps forward. That card is invalid here. Jennifer meets his eyes. Is it? She turns and walks. The guard doesn't follow. The manager doesn't move. Even the CEO pauses for a second. Down the corridor, the elevator panel glows blue. Jennifer reaches it and taps the card. A soft beep cuts through the tension. Access granted. The CEO's expression shifts for the first time. The doors slide open. Jennifer steps inside. She looks back once. So why does it feel like he just lost control? Hold that elevator. The CEO shouts, striding forward as the doors begin to close. Jennifer doesn't move. The guard finally reacts, rushing down the hallway. But he's too late. The doors slide shut. The elevator rises. Silence hits the corridor. The manager turns slowly. Sir, she just accessed the executive level. That's not possible, the CEO says, but his voice lacks the same certainty. It is, the guard replies. Top clearance. The CEO presses the call button, hard. Nothing. He presses it again. Still nothing. Inside the elevator, Jennifer stands still, eyes forward, breathing steady. She checks her watch. 8:40, 4 p.m. Right on time, she whispers. The numbers climb fast. Back downstairs, guests begin whispering louder. Phones are out now. The moment is spreading. The CEO steps back, mind racing. She didn't argue. She didn't resist. She walked away, like she was moving into something bigger. So what exactly did she just walk into? The elevator slows. A soft chime breaks the silence. The doors slide open. Jennifer steps out into a quiet hallway, lined with glass walls and polished marble. No noise, no movement. Just a single assistant seated at a desk, typing. He looks up, confused. Excuse me, this floor is restricted. Jennifer keeps walking. Hey, he says, standing quickly. You can't be here. She doesn't slow down. The assistant moves around the desk. I need to see your clearance. Jennifer glances at him briefly. You won't. That's not how this works, he replies, reaching for his phone. It is tonight, she says. Her voice stays calm, certain. He hesitates. Something about her tone stops him. Behind him, two security staff step out from a side door. They watch her approach. No one moves to block her. Jennifer walks straight down the hall, toward one door, the largest one. So why isn't anyone stopping her? Block the door, the assistant says, voice tight, as Jennifer closes the distance. The two security staff exchange a look, then step forward. Jennifer doesn't slow. You need to turn around, one of them says, raising a hand. I don't, she replies. That office is private. Jennifer stops just short of him. Then you should ask why I'm here. We're asking you to leave. She studies his badge for a second. You've been here 3 years. He stiffens. How do you? You won't stop me, she says. The assistant steps closer. Call upstairs. Now. I am upstairs, Jennifer answers. The guard shifts his stance, uncertain now. Last warning, he says. Jennifer reaches into her pocket again. The same black card. She lifts it slightly. The guard's expression changes. Step aside, she says. He hesitates, then moves. The assistant freezes. So what exactly does that card give her access to? Call him, the assistant says, voice shaking now. Tell him someone is inside. The guard lifts his radio. Sir, we have a situation on the executive floor. No response. Jennifer walks past them, each step steady, controlled. The assistant tries again. You can't just walk into his office. Jennifer doesn't look back. Watch me. She stops in front of the glass door. The name etched across it reflects the city lights behind her. The assistant swallows. He'll be here in seconds. I know, Jennifer says. Downstairs, the CEO strides toward the private elevator, anger building with each step. "Override it," he orders. "It's still locked," the guard replies. "Then, unlock it." Inside, the system resets. The elevator doors open. He steps in. Back upstairs, Jennifer places her hand on the door handle. The assistant holds his breath. The hallway goes still. Jennifer pushes the door open. So what is she about to take control of? The door swings open. Jennifer walks in without hesitation. The office is silent. Floor-to-ceiling windows. City lights stretching wide. A desk sits at the center. Files stacked neatly. Screen still active. The assistant rushes in behind her. "You need to step out." "Now." Jennifer ignores him. She moves around the desk, runs her fingers lightly across the surface, then stops. "You can't touch anything in here," the assistant says, voice rising. Jennifer sits down in the CEO's chair, calm, steady. The assistant freezes. "Get up." Right now, she leans back slightly. "No, you don't understand what you're doing." Jennifer looks at the screen. Data scrolls. Numbers. Transactions. Her eyes narrow slightly. Downstairs, the elevator climbs fast. Inside it, the CEO stands still, jaw tight. Back upstairs, Jennifer taps the desk once. Soft. Certain. So why does she look like she's been here before? "Stand up," the assistant says, voice sharp now. "He'll be here any second." Jennifer doesn't move. Instead, she reaches forward and taps the keyboard once. The screen changes instantly. A secured window opens. The assistant steps closer. "You don't have clearance for that." Jennifer glances at him. Watch. Lines of data shift. Accounts. Transfers. Timelines. The assistant's face tightens. "That section is locked." "Not anymore," she says. "You're breaching internal access." Jennifer leans back slightly. "No. I'm reviewing it." The assistant pulls out his phone. "I'm calling security." "They're already here," she replies. Footsteps echo from the hallway. Fast. Heavy. The elevator has stopped. The CEO steps out. He walks straight toward the office. The assistant backs away from the desk. Jennifer stays seated. The door is still open. The CEO appears at the entrance. He stops, sees her, behind his desk. So why does it feel like he just walked into her space? "What are you doing in my office?" The CEO's voice cuts through the room as he steps inside, eyes locked on Jennifer. She doesn't stand, doesn't flinch. She sits behind his desk, one hand resting near the keyboard, the other on the armrest. Calm, still. "You should close the door," she says. The assistant looks between them. Unsure. "Close it," she repeats. The CEO doesn't move at first. Then, slowly, he steps back and shuts the door himself. The click echoes. "You have 5 seconds to explain this," he says, walking closer. Jennifer watches him approach. No fear, no rush. "You fired me," she says. "Yes, and you're still fired." She tilts her head slightly. "That might be a problem." "For you," he replies. Jennifer taps the screen lightly. Numbers shift. A file opens. The CEO's eyes flicker for a second. He recognizes it. Private. Restricted. So, how does she have access to something even his staff can't open? "Step away from that system," the CEO says, voice low, controlled. Jennifer doesn't move. "You're looking at something you don't understand," he adds. "I understand enough," she replies. He stops beside the desk, eyes scanning the screen. The file is open, active, time-stamped. "How did you get into this?" he asks. Jennifer taps once more. A transaction history expands. Large numbers, rapid movement. "You approve this," she says. His expression tightens. "That's confidential. It's also irregular." The assistant steps back slowly, tension rising. "You don't have clearance to question my decisions," the CEO says. Jennifer looks up at him. "I do, if those decisions affect more than you." He leans in. "You're out of your depth." Jennifer holds his gaze. "Am the first?" She scrolls again. Another file opens. Older. Hidden. The CEO's jaw tightens further. So why does she keep finding things that were never meant to be seen? "Close that file," the CEO says, sharper now. "That section is restricted." Jennifer doesn't look away from the screen. It was hidden. It's not your concern. It became my concern the moment it affected operations downstairs. He steps closer. You're a waitress. Jennifer glances up briefly. Not tonight. The assistant shifts near the door, unsure whether to stay or leave. Every delay, Jennifer continues, tapping the screen. Every pressure you pushed. It traces back here. That's speculation, he replies. No, she says. That's data. A graph appears. Timelines align. The assistant leans forward without meaning to. Sir, that's the investor account. The CEO shoots him a look. Stay out of this. Jennifer scrolls again. A flagged entry flashes. Red. You moved this earlier than scheduled, she says. His silence answers first. So why does it look like she knows exactly what he changed? And why? Enough, the CEO says, voice rising. You're crossing a line you don't understand. Jennifer turns the screen slightly toward him. Then explain it. He doesn't look. I don't answer to staff. He replies. You will tonight, she says. The assistant exhales quietly, tension tightening the room. You forced a transfer before approval, Jennifer continues. That created pressure across every department. That's how business works, he says. No, she replies. That's how mistakes spread. He steps closer to the desk. You're guessing. Jennifer taps again. A notification appears. Pending review. Unauthorized adjustment. The CEO's eyes flicker. Still guessing? She asks. Silence. The assistant swallows. Sir, that flag shouldn't even show. Jennifer leans back slightly. But it does. The CEO studies her now, not the screen. This isn't luck. This isn't chance. So who gave her access to something even he buried? Who are you? The CEO asks, voice lower now, controlled but tight. Jennifer studies him for a moment. Then she reaches into her pocket and places a second card on the desk. Not black, silver. The assistant leans forward. That's not internal. Jennifer slides it closer. The CEO doesn't touch it. Say it, he says. Jennifer meets his eyes. You already know. He shakes his head once. No, I don't. She taps the screen again. A new window opens. Authorization panel. Higher clearance than his. The assistant steps back. Sir, that level doesn't report to you. Silence. Jennifer's voice stays calm. You've been making decisions without oversight. That's my role, he replies. Not when the structure above you changes. His eyes narrow. What structure? Jennifer leans forward slightly. Check your messages, she says. His phone vibrates. Unknown sender. So why does it feel like his authority just changed without warning? Read it, Jennifer says. The CEO looks down at his phone. A message sits at the top. Urgent. Authorized. He opens it. His expression shifts. This isn't valid, he says quickly. It's missing protocol. It isn't, Jennifer replies. It just bypassed you. The assistant leans in slightly. Sir, that header, it's from the parent board. The CEO looks up sharply. That's not possible. They don't act without notice. They did tonight, Jennifer says. He steps closer. You're bluffing. Jennifer taps the screen again. A document appears. Official. Signed. Effective immediately. The assistant steps back. Sir, that's a structural override. Silence. The CEO looks between the phone and the screen. This was planned, he says. Jennifer holds his gaze. Yes. For how long? She doesn't answer. Instead, she folds her hands on the desk. Calm. Certain. So how long has she been inside his company? Watching everything he does? How long? The CEO asks again, voice tighter now. Jennifer doesn't rush her answer. Long enough to see patterns, she says. That's not an answer. It's the one you get. He circles the desk slowly. You were planted here? I was assigned, she corrects. By who? Jennifer taps the document again. The same group that just bypassed your authority. The assistant exhales. Oversight division. The CEO stops. They don't send people into service roles. They do when surface reports stop matching internal data, Jennifer replies. His eyes narrow. So you've been watching me. I've been observing operations. That's the same thing. No, she says. Observation records facts. Watching looks for mistakes. Silence. The assistant shifts again. Sir, if she's oversight, then everything she logs is binding. The CEO looks back at Jennifer. She doesn't look away. So what exactly has she already recorded about him? What did you log? The CEO asks, voice low now, controlled but strained. Jennifer turns the screen toward him. Everything tied to your early transfer, she says. He doesn't react. Not yet. You bypassed approval, she continues. That triggered delays across departments. That's operational risk, he replies. It happens. Jennifer taps once. A timeline appears. Every delay, every complaint, every shift on the floor, all connected, she says. The assistant leans in, eyes wide. Sir, this links directly to tonight. The CEO looks at the data longer now. You're building a case, he says. I'm documenting one, Jennifer replies. He steps closer. You don't have full context. Then give it, she says. Silence. Downstairs, faint noise rises. Staff whisper. Guests react. Something is spreading. The CEO glances toward the door, then back at the screen. So how much of his control is already slipping beyond this room? You think this proves something? The CEO says, voice sharper now. You don't see the full picture. Then show it, Jennifer replies. He reaches for the keyboard. She doesn't stop him. He pulls up another file. Locked. Encrypted. High-level authorization, he says. You don't have access to this. Jennifer watches him enter his code. The file opens. For a second, nothing moves. Then, numbers appear. Larger, riskier. The assistant exhales. Sir, that's outside normal limits. It's strategic, the CEO says quickly. If this goes through, everything stabilizes. Jennifer leans forward. Or collapses. It won't. You moved too early, she says. Before confirmation, I had to. Silence. Jennifer studies the screen. So this wasn't control. He looks at her. Tension tightens. What was it? She asks. His jaw sets. So why does it look like even he isn't sure anymore? It was pressure, the CEO says finally. The word hangs in the room. Jennifer doesn't react. From who? He looks at the screen. Not her. Investors. Timeline changes. They wanted faster returns. So, you moved funds early, she says. Yes. Without approval. Yes. Silence. The assistant steps back further. Sir, that puts liability on you. I know what it does, he snaps. Jennifer taps once more. A final document appears. Formal review. Notice. Active. Effective immediately. The CEO's eyes lock on it. It means oversight takes control, Jennifer says. He looks up slowly. You're replacing me? Not yet. Then what are you doing? Jennifer stands for the first time. Calm, certain. I'm evaluating you. Outside the office, footsteps gather. Voices whisper. Something is about to change. Jennifer faces him fully. So what happens when the person he fired becomes the one judging him? Evaluating me? The CEO repeats, voice low, almost disbelieving. Jennifer steps away from the desk. Yes. He lets out a short breath. You don't walk in here and decide that. I didn't decide it, she says. It was assigned. The door behind them opens. 3 people step in. Formal suits. No hesitation. The assistant straightens instantly. Oversight team. The CEO turns. You brought them here? They were already on standby, Jennifer replies. One of them steps forward. We're here to confirm temporary authority transfer. The CEO's eyes harden. There's a process. There was, the man says. You bypassed it. Silence. Jennifer steps slightly aside. Not behind him. Not equal. Ahead. The man nods once. Effective immediately. Your executive control is suspended. The words land heavy. The CEO doesn't move. So what happens when the man in charge isn't anymore? Suspended? The CEO repeats, voice tighter now. For review, the lead officer says, all executive decisions are paused. That's not how this works, the CEO replies. It is tonight. the officer says. Jennifer steps closer to the desk again. Calm, steady. Transfer access, the officer adds. The assistant hesitates. Sir, your credentials. Don't touch anything, the CEO snaps. Jennifer reaches forward and taps the screen. Authorization panel opens. The assistant freezes. She can initiate it, the officer says. The CEO looks at Jennifer. You're making a mistake. No, she replies. I'm correcting one. She confirms the transfer. The screen shifts. Access granted. Oversight control. Active. The assistant exhales slowly. It's done. Silence fills the room. The CEO stands still. For the first time, he has no command to give. So what does he do now that no one has to listen? Step away from the desk, the lead officer says. The CEO doesn't move. Now, the officer repeats. Jennifer stands still, watching. The CEO exhales slowly, then takes one step back. Not forced, chosen. The room shifts. The assistant lowers his eyes. No one looks at the CEO the same way anymore. Jennifer steps forward and rests her hand on the desk again. The same desk he stood behind minutes ago. Proceed, the officer says. Jennifer nods once. She opens a new panel. Internal announcement. Her fingers move with precision. The assistant leans in slightly. You're notifying the entire building? Yes, she says. That makes this public. It already is. Downstairs, phones buzz. Staff pause mid-task. The message spreads. Executive control reassigned. Under review. The CEO looks toward the window. So how far has this already reached beyond this room? Turn it off, the CEO says, voice low but urgent. You're escalating this too fast. Jennifer doesn't stop typing. It's already escalated, she replies. Downstairs, the dining room shifts. Guests check their phones. Staff freeze mid-service. Whispers rise. What's happening? Someone asks. Upstairs, the assistant steps closer. Sir, the notification reached investors. The CEO's expression tightens. Who approved that? Jennifer presses one final key. I did. The lead officer nods once. Transparency protocol engaged. This will damage the company, the CEO says. Jennifer looks at him. No. Your decisions did. Silence. The assistant exhales slowly. Outside the office, more staff gather. No one enters. They just watch. The CEO glances toward them, then back at Jennifer. This isn't private anymore. So how much of his reputation just changed in a single moment? You've made your point, the CEO says, voice lower now. So what now? Jennifer steps away from the desk. Now we decide what happens next. He studies her. You think this ends well for you? It's not about me, she replies. The lead officer steps forward. Your actions triggered a full review. Until then, you step down. Temporarily, the CEO says. That depends on the outcome. Silence. Jennifer looks at him, steady. You built this place, she says, but you stopped seeing what it was becoming. He doesn't answer. Downstairs, the restaurant slows. Staff still whisper. Everything feels different now. Jennifer turns slightly toward the door, then pauses. Pause for a second, she says, voice calm. Would you forgive him or make him face it? The question hangs. No one answers. The CEO stands still. For the first time, he waits. So what will she choose to do with this power? Chapter 10, Part 1. So what happens now? The CEO asks, voice steady, but quieter than before. Jennifer studies him, not as an employee, not as an opponent, as someone being measured. You step back, she says, and then? You reflect. He lets out a short breath. That's your decision? It's your opportunity. The lead officer watches silently. The assistant doesn't move. You could remove me completely, the CEO says. Make this public. Finish it. I already made it public, Jennifer replies, but I won't finish you. He frowns. Why not? Jennifer walks around the desk slowly, because what happens next matters more than what just happened. Silence settles. She stops in front of him. You built something strong, she says. You just stopped listening to it. He looks at her, searching. So why is she giving him a chance he didn't give her? You think I deserve that? The CEO asks, voice low. Jennifer doesn't answer immediately. I think you need it, she says. He looks away, toward the glass wall, city lights reflecting faintly. They were going to pull everything, he says. If I didn't move fast, we would lose it all. And now? Jennifer asks. He exhales slowly. Now I might lose it anyway. The room stays quiet. No, she says. Now you have a choice. He turns back. What choice? Own what you did, she replies. Or keep pretending it didn't matter. The lead officer nods slightly. That will affect the review, he adds. The CEO studies Jennifer again. You're giving me a path, he says. I'm giving you responsibility. Silence. He nods once, not fully convinced, but not resisting. So, what happens when a man used to control has to face himself instead? Call them, Jennifer says. The CEO looks at her. Now? Yes. He hesitates for a second, then pulls out his phone. The room stays silent as the call connects. They're expecting results, he says into the line. You'll get transparency instead. A pause. No, he continues. I moved too early. That's on me. The assistant looks up, surprised. The lead officer watches closely. I'm stepping back, the CEO adds. Oversight is in control. Another pause. His grip tightens slightly. Yes, he says. I understand the risk. He ends the call. Silence returns. Jennifer studies him. You just changed everything, she says. He exhales slowly. So did you. Outside the office, the tension begins to shift. Not gone, but different. So why does this feel like the first real decision he's made all night? You should address the floor, Jennifer says. The CEO looks at her. Now? Yes. They watched you take control. Now they need to see you take responsibility. He hesitates, then nods. They step out of the office together. The hallway is full now. Staff stands still, watching. Downstairs, the dining room quiets as he appears at the balcony. Every eye turns. I made a decision tonight, he says, voice carrying across the room. It was rushed. It affected all of you. Silence. Jennifer stands behind him, not hidden, not leading, present. I take responsibility, he continues, and I'm stepping back while it's reviewed. A ripple moves through the room. No anger, no shouting, just attention. He steps back. Jennifer doesn't step forward. She doesn't need to. So why does her silence feel louder than his words? The room settles slowly. No applause, no noise, just a shift. Jennifer turns away from the balcony. No announcement, no claim. She walks back through the hallway. The assistant watches her pass, unsure whether to speak. He doesn't. The lead officer steps aside, giving her space. Inside the office, the CEO stands alone now. He looks at the desk, the chair, the screen still open. He doesn't sit. He just stands there, thinking. Back in the hallway, Jennifer reaches the elevator. She presses the panel. The doors open. No hesitation. She steps inside. As the doors close, the reflection of the office fades behind her. Downstairs, the restaurant resumes slowly. Different, quieter, more aware. Inside the elevator, Jennifer stands still, calm, certain. She was fired in front of everyone. Now she leaves without a word. So what does real power actually look like?